For Liberate Science, I'm Chris Hartgerink, and today I'll be showing you a bit about Nutshell, the CRM system which I chose for Liberate Science to use because I found it the most useful. So I created a quick test account to run you through some of the benefits. So anything you see here, no worries, it's not private information. And the core for me about Nutshell was really that it allowed a lot of nice tracking of your contacts, but also allowed the integration of your email lists. So I'm going to start out by going through some of these startup items, and I'm going to add our first point of activity. So we can have a specific phone call, meeting, or other interactions with each person in our network. We can add tasks, which we can track, a lead. This is a downside of Nutshell if you're using it more for community management, but you have to sort of replace in your head everything that's about sales with something else within your community. Then you can add people, but also companies. I'm going to start out today by adding a person. So I'm going to add Lou Woodley as an example from the company CSCCE, which we're here for today. And then I'm not 100% sure this is the email, but let's just fill it in. And we can also add a phone, an address, and a URL. I'm going to find Lou Woodley real quick on Twitter so you can see some of the integrations Nutshell has with CRM. And I'm going to add that as a URL. So I added Lou to our system. It connected Lou to this person here, and it also immediately created the company. So I'm gonna, if I remember correctly, Lou is the director. So I'm gonna add that she's the director of CSCCE, pardon me. So I'm gonna refresh real quick to see whether it actually loads the Twitter information. No, because it's not connected to Twitter. But in essence, what it does, it will provide a profile picture and also some information on the followers here. So you can, you don't have to add all your information to each contact, but you can get a lot from Twitter. What we can also do throughout Nutshell, I like this. The idea is really that you do quite a lot of your outreach in here, but you can sort of get an overview of all the activities that you've had with this person. Yeah, but you can also send an email. You would need to connect your email first. I haven't done that, of course, because this is a test account, but I can send a direct email to Lou if you have a Google Workspace account, which you can link here. It can also automatically track all your emails if you want, but you can also forward it if that's something you prefer. And you can also synchronize with your Google Calendar to track your activities so that you don't have to keep manually entering all of this information. Plus, as I said, we can also add Lou to an audience. So I can create an audience. I want to skip this. Create an audience, and this may look very similar to something like MailChimp, where you can add specific broadcasts, newsletters, but also drip sequences. So you can reach out to somebody if they sign up for your newsletter, for example, and then if they don't respond, you can send them a follow-up email, say 2 weeks later. You can separate a lot of that out. So what I really like is that Nutshell reduces the amount of services that I need. So I no longer need a newsletter system. I just use Nutshell, both for my emails and for my CRM needs. What's also really nice is that I'm just going to add my own phone number because that's the one I know in here. You can also do click to call in this. You do have to sign up so they don't get spammers in here. But then what pretty much happens is you can click this number, you can immediately call somebody, and you can also record the call if you want to. I haven't tried that out, but that's something else you can do. Then what we can also do, I like to do this for people I want to try and stay in touch with, is I can start leads. So I can add a new lead, and I can, for example, have a pipeline for new community members and say or for onboarding. And here I'm going to onboard, say, Lou. These pipelines, you will have to specify yourself what the quote unquote sale is here is a bit more difficult. So as I said, it is very sales oriented, but we can add Lou. We can say, okay, this is a hot lead to ensure that that it has high priority. And we can say confidence maybe here that Lou will go through with onboarding. So this is a bit of a downside because it's very sales oriented, that you have to really rethink how does your community management, if that's what you're working on, relate to this system, because the language is very sales oriented. And then we can sort of progress this person throughout the pipeline. We can also, again, send an email straight from here. So really what Nutshell provides is a lot of ways to keep in touch with the people in your community, which I really like because I'm not an extrovert of myself. I need to really reduce the barriers to reach out to people, and the easier it is in this system, the nicer it is. For me, the more I do it, the more community engagement I have, the more energy I get to actually keep doing it. And we can also add to our dashboard some quota. I like to also try and keep myself a bit on track with respect to all of this. So that's a very, very short demo of Nutshell. It's really nice. It integrates with your Google Workspace if you have it. Of course, there's a data protection aspect to it. You can invite your colleagues in here as well. I haven't done that so much, but that's a very nice thing. You can call people. You can reach out to people very directly, and you can reduce the amount of services you need because you can also do outreach, the marketing here. And you also get some reporting here, which is very sales oriented. I haven't used it that much. And you can also have some more settings within Nutshell to sort of go out into, for example, Slack. So if somebody signs up to a newsletter, you get a notification and stuff like this. So you really can make it a space that that helps you manage your community. And I think that's really the core of a lot of these CRM systems. I personally like this one the most also because the pricing is very good. It's not cheap. A lot of CRM systems tend to be expensive, but this one is not dependent on all of these additional packages that you need to add. So this is a thing that if you do have budget, it is worth the investment. If you especially because it's quite economical. It's not overly complex like some of the Salesforce systems, which if you add mechanisms to it, add-ons, becomes more and more pricey. And this is a very cheap one in relation to that. But if you do not have budget, I can imagine this is still expensive. That's a short run through, and I would like to show you my own setup, but I can't due to data protection again. And I would love to hear if you're going to work within this space with multiple people, or if you have been using this, or if you start using it, whether you have any tips, because I personally probably have only scratched the surface of it. I really like documenting just my activity in it. It's sort of my end of day ritual to go in here, log some of my activity, maybe send an email here or there, or schedule a task that I need to follow up with somebody. So that's a quick demo of Nutshell. Some of the reasons why I like it, why you might want to try it out, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. And if you want, we can also always jump on a one-on-one if you want to see some more practical examples. So thanks for watching along, and I hope this was helpful to you.